afternoon, everyone. Moderator, Your Grace, ladies and gentlemen. It's certainly an immense pleasure to welcome so many of you to the City Chambers for this, the inaugural meeting of the Poverty Truth Commission. And I'd like to thank all who have been involved in the organisation of it, especially Faith in the Community Scotland. We are gathered here today to talk about poverty, and more importantly, to hear directly from people who are experiencing it or who have had recent experience of it.
You are the main players here today, and we thank you in advance for what you have prepared for us, using song and humour and speech, all different forms of media to present your story. So I thank you, testifiers, for your honesty, your courage and your humanity in speaking to us about your own experience. The real process that we want to address today is why people are still living in poverty in the 21st century.
I'd like to give you a brief summary of how the day is going to go. It's in this wee booklet. It's made up of 3 parts. First we'll hear the testifiers, then we will have a 45-minute break. The commissioners will go away, they will confer, and what they'll do is they'll come back and they will, come back and give a response. And then there'll be a summing up at the end. Decision makers seem to think they're the experts. They have their ideas and their solutions. That's because they get their information by being on the outside looking in. The testifiers today will show you that they're the experts because they live it and have lived with poverty day in and day out.
Today we'll be speaking to some young people from Rochesy, which is one of Glasgow's most deprived areas. I would like to introduce the winner of over 100 awards commending her fantastic dedication and talent, Rochesy's very own Jamie Lee.
Don't think we're okay just because I'm here. You hurt me bad.
The biggest change for me when I came back was I realised I don't need the latest clothes, the latest phones or technology just to be happy. What I should be doing is be myself and go for like aims in life that I want to achieve. Like over there, like it's hard to say, like even though they've not got a lot of resources, they had high expectations in life. They all wanted to be like doctors, nurses, priests. They all wanted to be like that. And I think to myself, well, they want to be that so badly. They stick in, and well, quite a few of them actually do achieve it. And why myself? Like it also taught me I could have high expectations in myself because I have got resources available, and if I use them and I put my mind to do one thing, I could achieve anything in life.
It's like a postcode lottery. If your lottery fit, if your numbers fit, then you'll get the job. And it's been proven, if you stay in the poor areas, you're less likely to get a job.
Aye, that's if you even get the chance to go to school. Did you hear about the kids starting the new secondary school? They get chased home with a local gang.
That's terrible. I mean...
The first years?
First years now, who would have thought? First years don't get caught in gang fighting.
I know, it seems one of them even gets stabbed in the thigh trying to run away.
Did you hear what happened when the Rochesy school got pulled down? They built a new school 5 minutes away. The kids tried to move from one area to another to get to their new school, but on the way up, some guys decided they didn't like to see the children walking through their community, so they went and chased 9 and 10 and 11-year-olds. They chased them home, but they got a fright. The next day, all the mothers got together, so they all walked up the school, so they didn't get chased after that.
Childhood leaves a million minds engulfed in abuse. I'm not an artist on the fine line between fine lines of substance abuse or any other misuse. Far from recluse, just privately unravelling while others peruse the daily news. And the horrors ensure. I'm trying to see around corners for the unspoken warning I'm assured will ensue. Psychological spew, and many viewed as a nuisance. Too honest for your crew.
Poverty ensured that my daughter couldn't get the birthday party with all the trimmings in a children's play area like her peers. Poverty has ensured that I haven't been able to take my daughter on a holiday to places like Benidorm or Mallorca, which some people consider very cheap. And poverty ensures that I can't buy my daughter the toys that she desires, or even ensure that she has the appropriate school uniform with the school logo, instead having to suffice for a version that is merely the same colour.
I miss James every day and always think of him, and I will never forget him, but I know he would want everyone who loved and cared for him to get on with their lives and be happy. The biggest part of the community were affected by James's death, and me myself give all my sympathy to his family, who still to this day are in so much pain and are going through so much heartache and misery. James has been dead 2 years on the 20th of August of this year. It seems only yesterday he was still here. It's amazing the things you learn when you lose someone you love and care about. So many people in the area have learned that life's too short to sit around. Get out there and enjoy it while you can, because you never know when your time is up.
And all these security guys, they all think they're the boss in that job centre. They just wouldn't help me at all, and there's no privacy. When I was standing in the queue, there was this guy in front of me, and I'm sure he didn't want anybody to know his business. What is it? Can I hear you? Please speak up. The guy was embarrassed. I was embarrassed. Everybody was embarrassed.
I'm here with all the kinship carers, not only in Glasgow, but we're now amalgamated all over Scotland. We've got 50 to 55 children in our care. This is through addiction, bereavement, mental health issues. My own personal situation was I was asked to take my grandson at 4 months because he was at risk. I did not hesitate, but I didn't know the struggle ahead with this. He was born a methadone baby, and he's never slept properly in 4.5 years. I was at a meeting recently with one of the main funders for addiction. Very nice gentleman. He turned around and he says, "Jessie, you've got to start embracing it, hen." I was a bit bemused. I went, "Embrace it?" I says, "If I could say the word mammy, I embraced it." I had a father that I loved, but he was an alcoholic. I had a son who was a heroin addict for 18 years that I loved. I embraced that. I beg your pardon. I'm embracing this wee grandchild who I dearly love. That's what I've embraced today. I'm not sitting back any longer watching a government pour millions into a legalised substance, i.e. alcohol, and turning their back to our veins. No more.
There are thousands of children in Scotland that are being raised by grandparents and other extended family members. Family members have taken these children on to care because the children are at risk. In many cases, social work departments have asked family members to take over the complete care of these children until the parents show signs of recovery. Statistics show in the next 6 months there could be as much as a 20% rise, increase in children in kinship care in Scotland. It takes a weight off social work department to know that these kids have been placed in a safe environment. But there is no financial support, there is no emotional support. We're here today to ask you to try and understand the poverty in some of these families. See if we can make a difference in these children's lives, because I most certainly do that.
Put yourself in my shoes. I'm 8 years old. I'm hungry. I go round to my friend's back door and eat the bread put out for the birds. Put yourself in my shoes. I'm 12. I feel so ashamed of the holes in all my shoes. It's a constant worry. I can feel the grips in between my toes during PE. I wish I had a pair of the nice white sand shoes. Put yourself in my shoes. Teenager, needing my first bra. Nobody notices. I steal one from someone's bottom drawer. Put yourself in my shoes. I'm 21 years old. A young bride, hoping the future will be different. But he will give me my first black eye 3 weeks later. Put yourself in my shoes. I'm 26, with 3 young children and 3 more to come. He has just told me that Myra Hindley would make a better mother than me. Put yourself in my shoes. I'm 32, another wedding, the same man, another borrowed dress, no shoes, bare feet. Put yourself in my shoes. I'm 40. Although I have paid a heavy price to break free and am now on my own, I am still reduced to tears by the bullying behaviour of staff at the benefits agency. I am now 45. It's taken a long time, but despite everything, I believe in myself. I am finally able to buy myself a new pair of shoes. My name is Carol. Put yourself in my shoes.
Let me tell you about Maggie. When she was a child, she was always encouraged to drink milk because it helped to make her grow. It helped your bones, it helped your teeth. TV adverts were always telling us how important milk was for us all, especially children. When she had her own children, she took all the advice and made sure her boys had plenty of milk to drink. Over the past few months, the price of milk has scored so much so that things in her house have changed. Her son's freedom of drinking milk by the glass had been taken away and is now limited. They are now drinking cheap fizzy drinks.
We had to try to get a council house. We had a couple of months to get things sorted out before we moved. I was still working constantly in the buses, trying to bring money in to pay for everything. The flat the council offered us was in a right state. Diane went to see it and was in tears. There were big holes in the walls, and if you've ever seen that film Trainspotting with the toilets, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The stench of urine when you walked in was unbelievable. It was just disgusting. But what choice did we have? The council weren't prepared to do anything to it. We'd done everything, put our whole heart and soul into our old flat, and then to walk away from it with nothing. To be put in a place where you wouldn't even have a bath with Olivia, your beautiful baby, just 3 weeks old. She sat in a bogging kitchen in her wee car seat while we spent most of our time trying to decorate the place and do something to make it a home. The week after we moved in, we had drug dealers move in next door to us, and there were needles all over the close, people banging on the door at all hours of the night, at the wrong door looking for drugs. Diane answered the door at 4 o'clock one morning in desperation as she was trying to get Olivia to sleep. She was dragged out by the hair. I was going out to work, not knowing what I was going to be coming back to. Knowing my family didn't feel safe there, it was unbearable. I nearly cracked in two with the stress of it all.
I've been walking in the same way as I did, missing out the cracks in the pavement and tutting my heel and strutting my feet. Is there anything I can do for you, dear? Is there anyone I could call? No, and thank you, please, madame. I ain't lost, just wondering. Round my hometown, memories of phrase. Round my hometown, ooh, the people I've made are the wonders of my world, are the wonders of my world, are the wonders of this world, are the wonders. And now I like it in the city when the air is so thick and opaque. I love it to see everybody in short skirts, shorts and shades. I like it in the city when two worlds collide. You get the people and the government, everybody taking different sides.
We could have spoken a lot longer as commissioners than we were given, and we now intend to reply very briefly. 4 of us are going to speak for 90 seconds. If it goes beyond 90 seconds, put your hand up so the speaker knows. And the first is the Archbishop is going to say a few words.
It was in February of 2007, that we had, under the auspices of the Royal Society of Edinburgh, a gathering here. It was the academics giving us the history of poverty, the analysts telling us how it had developed. There were psychologists talking about that angle. We had a lot of academic input, which was very valuable in trying to understand what the statistics were telling us. But at the end of that, I remember very clearly, and it is within the report, a delegate highlighted the lack of representation at the conference of groups from poor communities, I'm quoting, and that without further work to empower such groups to bring forth solutions from within these communities, it would be unlikely that appropriate solutions would emerge.
I would just want to begin by saying that what we've heard today is from very competent,
capable people. People with talent and people with courage.
We need to make sure that children are nurtured. They're nurtured in homes where there is no violence. Because if you bring children up in a war zone, you'll create warriors. And that's what we have. We need to do that. We need to understand the connection of all of this together, because nobody's safe until we're all safe. And that's a truism. But one of the things I think that's really positive, because I always try to be positive about things, and I am an optimistic cynic. Václav Havel said that hope is not the belief in a particular outcome, but the certainty in what you're doing is the right thing. And what this is happening today, this is the right thing to do.
Thank you sincerely for your stories. They were hard stories to listen to, but they are not stories of gloom. The fact that you're here today and telling them make them stories of hope. Margaret Thatcher once said, "There is no such thing as society. Keep proving them wrong."
I think one of the things which was evident amongst all the commissioners within the room that we were meeting this afternoon for that brief 45 minutes was that while there may be a great deal of intellect and creativity and knowledge and passion, there were people missing from that room that need to be there. So the specific recommendation of the Commission would be that its 40 minutes was not its lifetime, but rather its 40 minutes was its starting point, and we would want a number of the testifiers to join us over the next period of time as together we tackle the issues which you have so wonderfully and eloquently raised, not just for the commissioners, but for all of us.
I just want to thank everybody for coming, but what I would like to say is, you know, it's not just about the government. You can make a difference. Thank you.